Top 15 Richest People in Canada. Number 15, Garrett Camp. Net worth, $4 billion. Uber chairman Garrett Camp co-founded the ride-hailing startup with Travis Kalanick in 2009. The Uber mobile phone app lets users request a ride, and a driver contractor is routed to pick them up, with Uber getting a cut of the fare. Camp owns about 4% of Uber, which listed its shares on the New York Stock Exchange on May 10, 2019. Before Uber, Garrett Camp founded web discovery tool StumbleUpon, which he sold to eBay in 2007 for $75 million. Number 14, Peter Gilgan. Net worth, $4.2 billion. Peter Gilgan has built houses for some 90,000 homeowners since founding Mattamy Homes in 1978. Gilgan, who grew up as one of 7 children in a middle-class family, worked as an accountant before going into building. Inspired by the new urbanism movement, he set out to construct suburban dwellings that broke from the bland and impersonal developments. Mattamy began designing and building planned communities from the ground up in 1986. Gilgan remains CEO of the $3 billion business in revenues. Number 13, Anthony Von Mandel. Net worth, $4.4 billion. Anthony Von Mandel created the ready-to-drink alcoholic beverages White Claw Hard Seltzer and Mike's Hard Lemonade through his Mark Anthony brands. Von Mandel told Forbes his U.S. business is estimated to deliver close to $4 billion in revenue in 2020. He began his career in the Canadian wine business as an importer in the 1970s at age 22. He currently owns 5 wineries in Canada, including Mission Hill Winery in British Columbia's Okanagan Valley. Through his company Mark Anthony Wine and Spirits, Von Mandel is a leading figure of Canada's alcohol importing and distribution sector. Number 12, Alain Bouchard. Net worth, $4.5 billion. Alain Bouchard co-founded convenience store conglomerate Alimentation Couche-Tard with a single Quebec shop in 1980. As executive chairman, Bouchard still oversees the $59.1 billion in sales company, which boasts more than 14,000 owned or franchised stores worldwide. Bouchard, who grew the business rapidly by snatching up competitors, retired as president and CEO in September 2014. In 2017, Couche-Tard acquired Texas-based CST Brands for $4.4 billion and Minnesota-based Holiday Station Stores for $1.6 billion. Couche-Tard is reportedly pursuing the Australian fuel retailer Caltex Australia and is eyeing the cannabis industry. Number 11, Emmanuel Saputo. Net worth, $4.8 billion. Emmanuel Lino Saputo chaired his family's eponymous dairy company from 1969 until his August 2017 retirement. His son, Lino Jr., who has served as president and CEO since 2004, succeeded him as chairman. The elder Saputo's father, Giuseppe, founded the business in 1954 with $500 and a bicycle for deliveries after immigrating to Canada from Sicily. Lino grew the company in the following decades, taking it public in 1997. Today its products are sold in more than 40 countries. The family also has a stake in Major League Soccer's Montreal Impact. Number 10, Mark Scheinberg. Net worth, $4.9 billion. Mark Scheinberg co-founded PokerStars with his father, Tsai, and built it into the world's biggest online poker company before cashing out in 2014. Scheinberg, who owned 75% of Rational Group at the time, pocketed more than $3 billion from the sale. He helped launch PokerStars in 2001 at age 28 and benefited tremendously from the poker boom that soon swept the US and the rest of the world. Scheinberg is investing some of the proceeds in Madrid, where he is helping restore 7 historic buildings for commercial and residential use. In 2018, Scheinberg bought a stake in the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection from majority owner, private equity firm Oaktree Capital. He also owns the One Hotel in Toronto, Canada, which is set to open its doors in late 2020. Number 9, Chip Wilson. Net worth, $5.6 billion. Dennis Chip Wilson, the founder and former CEO of Lululemon, opened Lululemon's first store in Vancouver in 2000. He took the firm public in 2007, but resigned as chairman in 2013 and removed himself from the business completely in 2015. In 2013, Wilson blamed Lululemon's two-sheer pants on women's body types, causing an uproar among fans. Although Wilson has no management role in Lululemon, he remains its biggest individual shareholder. Wilson is currently involved in Hold It All, which has businesses in apparel, real estate, and private equity. His investments include stakes in Finnish sporting goods firm Amer Sports and Chinese sports apparel company Anta Sports. Number 8. Jim Pattison. Net worth, $5.6 billion. Jim Pattison oversees a sprawling group that operates 25 divisions including packaging, food and entertainment. Pattison's first business was a GM dealership he bought in 1961. The Canadian billionaire also controls more than 40% of publicly traded forest products company Canfor. His entertainment division includes Guinness World Records, the Ripley's Believe It or Not chain and Great Wolf Lodge's Canadian franchise rights. Number 7. James Irving. Net worth, $6.2 billion. James Irving owns J.D. Irving, a conglomerate with more than 24 companies in frozen foods, retail, shipbuilding, transportation and more. His timber and forestry operation, based in New Brunswick, has planted over 1 billion trees since 1957. His family's fortune dates back to the 19th century, when his grandfather left Scotland and launched a general store and lumber and farming companies. His father added to the empire with oil operations in the 1920s. Upon his 1992 death, the three brothers James, Arthur, and John split the assets. Irving Woodlands, a division of J.D. Irving, is the 6th largest landowner in the U.S. with 1.25 million acres of land. Number 6. Huang Chulong. Net worth, $6.4 billion. Huang Chulong chairs Galaxy Group, a privately held business based in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen. Huang's business interests span hotels, shopping malls, office leasing, parking lot operation and real estate development. Number 5. Tobi Lutke. Net worth, $8 billion. Tobias Lutke founded and runs Shopify, the Canadian e-commerce firm that helps companies set up and run online stores. He owns 6.7% of Shopify, which went public in 2015. Businesses that use Shopify technology for online sales include Kylie Cosmetics and shoe retailers Rothy's and Allbirds. Lutke grew up in Germany, where he learned to code by age 12 and left school at 16 to enter a computer programming apprenticeship. Shopify had over $1 billion in 2018 revenue. It has 1 million businesses as customers from 175 countries. Number 4. David Sheraton. Net worth, $8 billion. Professor billionaire David Sheraton, who teaches at Stanford University, made his fortune thanks to an early investment in Google. Sheraton and Andreas von Bechtelsheim, who is also now a billionaire, each invested $100,000 in Google when it was just getting started. The pair co-founded 3 companies, Arista Networks, Granite Systems, but he sold it to Cisco in 1996, and Kalia sold it to Sun Microsystems in 2004. Sheraton resigned from Arista's board in March 2014, and has been unloading his stock. He still owns nearly 10% through a trust for his children. Number 3. Galen Weston. Net worth, $8.4 billion. Galen Weston is chairman emeritus of George Weston, the Canadian food and retail giant founded by his grandfather in 1882. After successfully running grocery and retail stores in Ireland, his father handed him the reins to the struggling Loblaws supermarket chain in 1972. He turned the company around by lopping off underperforming stores and redesigning the rest. His son, Galen Jr., now runs both George Weston Limited and Loblaws, which acquired Canadian drugstore chain Shoppers for about $12 billion in July 2013. Weston also owns a group of upscale retailers, Canada's Holt Renfrew, Ireland's Brown Thomas, and UK department store Selfridges. Number 2. Joseph Tsai. Net worth, $12.6 billion. He is vice chairman and co-founder of Alibaba Group, and ranks as its second largest individual shareholder after chairman Jack Ma. In 2018, he bought 49% of the Brooklyn Nets National Basketball Association team. The following year he purchased the remaining 51%. He holds 2 degrees from Yale University, an undergraduate degree in economics and East Asian studies, and a law degree. Taiwan-born Tsai carries a Canadian passport. Number 1. David Thomson. Net worth, $39.3 billion. The richest man in Canada, David Thomson, and his family control a media and publishing empire founded by his grandfather Roy Thomson. The family's biggest holding, more than 320 million shares of Thomson Reuters, where Thomson serves as chairman. In 2018, Thomson Reuters announced it was selling a controlling stake in Refinitiv, a financial data provider, to Blackstone for $17 billion. The family also holds a stake in telecom giant Bell Canada and own the Toronto-based Globe and Mail newspaper.